We all remember the 2015 Coke 0400. Dale Earnhardt Jr. dominated the event and would go on to win the race. But we all remember that last lap crash that saw Austin Dillon's car go flying into the catch fence and landing upside down on the racetrack. Crew members ran out to go see if Austin was okay, and thankfully, Austin climbed out of that car unhurt. That crash horrified me. It was the scariest crash I've ever seen in NASCAR. But in the days following that crash, I ended up getting this weird vision. This vision of mine would show a car leading a race on the final lap at a restrictor plate racetrack. The car was leading a race and would end up getting turned in front of the field, flipping in the process and flipping multiple times down the front stretch. 5 years later, this vision of mine became a reality, and ever since that wreck happened, it's just affected me in the worst ways possible. It's really affected me deeply, and I think it's time that I share this story with you. So anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Enjoy. So let me get into it. So after the 2015 Coke 0400, it was 2:40 in the morning, around almost 3 o'clock in the morning, after that crash happened with Austin Dillon. I wake up the next morning, and just out of the blue, I started thinking about the crash, and then out of nowhere, I saw a car, like I said in the intro, leading a race on the final lap at a restrictor plate racetrack, and just gets turned in front of the field into the wall and just starts flipping. And it's just from 2015 up until now in 2020, it always played in my mind whenever NASCAR would go to Daytona or Talladega. I would always think about that crash in my mind. I said that it's going to happen somewhere. That exact crash is going to happen at either Daytona or Talladega. And it's going to happen soon. I did not know that this thing was going to become reality. And from watching this year's Daytona 500, I can't believe that it actually came true. Honestly, just can't believe it really came true. It's just, I really don't have anything to say about that. I mean, some of you might not believe what I'm talking about. You might just think like I'm making it up after it happened, but I'm telling you, it was actually true that I predicted this crash. I mean, obviously there was nothing I can do, and some of you might say it wasn't my fault that I predicted it. Some of you could have said, like, you couldn't have done anything to stop it or prevent it, but it affected me so much. Just knowing that I had a vision of that crash and it came true. I saw it live, just like almost all of you, and knowing that a driver, not only just a driver, but a driver that I'm a diehard fan of, almost died from a crash that I had a vision from. After seeing Newman's crash, it just affected my sleep and it affected my eating. Like, after Newman crashed, I couldn't sleep for almost a month. Just thinking about that vision, thinking about that crash, and eating is just, I would not eat. Whenever my mom would make dinner, I would just take like a bite of something and just get rid of the rest of it. Just didn't want to be bothered, didn't want to do anything. I know NASCAR is all about scary crashes. I've seen scary crashes in races, just like all of you out there. Austin Dillon's crash was the scariest that I've seen at the time, and I hope that I would never have to see a crash that scary again, but it happened 5 years later, as we were all watching. That day, I'll never forget it. Just seeing Newman get turned in front of the field like that, and getting slammed by Corey LaJoy. My reaction, never forget my reaction. Screamed at the top of my lungs. I raised my hands up to my head, and I almost started crying. I was mortified. I was horrified. But but what I just saw, because I didn't think crashes like that were possible. But as soon as that crash happened, I got that vision again, and it played to me at that time that the crash that I had a vision of was Ryan Newman. It's something that's gonna bother me for a long time. I mean, it's only been 3 months since the crash happened, but still affects me in some of the worst ways possible. I mean, I still have problems sleeping, and still have some problems eating and stuff. Just I don't know how I'm gonna get over it. I'm just glad that Newman got out of that car. Well, was helped out of that car and was released from the hospital just 2 or 3 days later. Glad that he's okay. I'm glad that he's better and he's getting back into a race car. But just that vision is just gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. Like I said, that a lot of you are gonna say that I'm making this up, but I'm telling you, it was true that I had this vision. I just don't know what else to say. So I think I'm just gonna wrap it up here now. So thank you guys for just watching this video, and I hope you somewhat liked it. And I mean, if you didn't like it, if you liked it, just give me your honest opinion in the comments below. And that's it. So anyway, guys, this is NASCAR Nick, and talk to you guys soon. Thanks.